Good afternoon and welcome back, and happy, actually what do we call that period between Christmas and New Year? I actually don't know, but anyway, happy that period between Christmas and New Year anyway. Right, I've had my little break. I've enjoyed my Christmas, I've enjoyed birthday, I've eaten, I've drunk too much, and I've put on a few pounds. I can see that around my face. I have bought myself with the discount card I had in my ASOS Beauty advent calendar, day 25, they gave a little discount code voucher thing, so I used that and I bought some makeup. And I decided to buy a few high street foundations that are available now in deep skin colours. So the first foundation I'm going to do is the one by Maybelline. So it seems to be a reformulated Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation. I am sure, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I am sure they've had this foundation around before, and all they've done is just renamed it, reformulated it, or whatever. So I did have a quick look on YouTube to see if anyone's done a review on it, and I could see a few of my American fellow YouTubers, they've done reviews. There's been quite a few reviews since November on this foundation. But it also seems that in America there are more shades available. There are about 4 deep skin shades available in America. In the UK there are only 7 shades available, and there's only one, and I mean one, deep skin shade available of this new formula. That's assuming it is a new formula of this foundation. So I bought that shade. So this is shade 70 and it is Cocoa. I bought it from ASOS. So as I said, I bought quite a few foundations from the ASOS website, and they've actually got this at quite a decent price. It is £7.99 at the moment. I don't know how long it's going to be reduced for, but that's the current price. I think the normal price in the UK, or the recommended retail price, is going to be £9.99. So after I've worn this, or if you're interested in buying this, you can purchase this from ASOS, and I think maybe Superdrug may have it, but again, don't quote me on that, please double check. I'm also going to be trying my new primer. When I'm testing out new foundations, I normally use my Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. This is the condition of it. There's not much of it left. I've got well, there's still, I'd say, still a good 2-3 months worth left in there. But I think I've mentioned this in a previous video. QVC at the moment, so QVC UK, they have got as a beauty product of the month, they have got this Becca blurring, so it's velvet blurring primer, and they have got it as their special sort of product of the month at the moment. So it looks like this. This normally retails for about £32–34 depending on where you buy it from. QVC have had it for £29, but at the moment they've got it on a bit of a discount again. They've got it for £25 with no postage and packaging, so you are saving at least £7. So £7 to £9 you are saving if you purchase this from QVC. And go and buy the reviews of this product. It seems to have the same great mattifying effect as this Becca Ever Matte, because to me this is one of my everyday best mattifying primers. But I want to try this one out today to see how good it is, to see if it does compare to this. Now I double prime. So I've already cleansed my skin. I have put on my first primer, which is this Fenty primer, which is also very moisturising. So I tend to use this as a moisturiser and a primer. And I'm going to be using this one now, and I'm just going to put it on just this area around here. So around my cheeks where the open pores are, around my nose and that area there. And then I'll crack on and apply the foundation. So let's do this. Oops. Oh, it's very clear and watery. Did you see how that squirted out just then? Do that again. Wow, did you see that? So it's a very, very watery, clear substance. So be careful of that. I didn't expect that at all. Oh, I don't like how that comes out, so I need to figure out how to apply that without wasting it. It's very, very watery. Yeah, you can see my that I've had a good Christmas of eating, because my skin is not in the best of states. So I am going to be spending the next few days just spending a lot of time just trying to clear up my skin, drinking loads of water, because I have had quite a bit of alcohol over the last few days. So I am going to start just easing down on all the fatty rich foods a bit and all the sweet foods, and just try to eat a bit better and a bit cleaner to see if I can clean up my skin a little bit. Just do a mini detox, not a full on because we've still got New Year's Eve to go, but just start easing off some of the bad food a bit. Right, so that's the primer on. I'm going to bring you in a bit more so we can focus on the foundation. So that's the primer. It feels it does feel smooth, still a little bit tacky, but I can feel that it is drying down to that kind of smooth effect. But let's see how effective it's going to be. Lighting, as per usual, is not great. So my intention is to wear this foundation for at least 4 hours because I want to see how good it handles the oil. And 4 hours is usually my minimum. For those of you who don't know, or it's your first time to my channel, hello and welcome. And happy festive season. I am a middle-aged lady, so I'm in my late 40s, just had my birthday, so I'm 49 now. I have got extremely oily skin, which is very unusual because I know people always think as you get older your skin gets drier. I haven't. My skin has got oilier and oilier, so I particularly break out in oil within sort of 1 to 2 hours when just after cleansing. So I do try to put on mattifying and oil controlling products just to try and just control the oil production. Oil production won't stop, I just try to hold it back as long as I possibly can. So when I test out foundations, I look for foundations that can at least hold back my oils for at least 4 hours, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to try out this foundation today. So let's get this foundation. So as I said, the colour I've got is number 70 Cocoa, and let's try this out. Okay, so I've got a damp sponge and I have got a brush. So I'm going to do one side with the sponge and I'm going to do one side with the brush and then see how we go from there. So let me do the sponge side first. The colour does worry me a little bit because it does look fairly dark, but you can see the product came out fairly quickly. It's quite a thin texture, it's not very thick. It says that it's supposed to be a full coverage foundation, so let's see, shall we? The colour looks like it's going to be okay. I'm going to be able to work with it. It is quite red and a little bit dark, but we can make it work. Okay, so I've just done one pump on this half of my face. We can see that it's already drying down quite quickly, and it's drying down to, I would say, medium to full, more towards the full coverage. Hasn't quite covered up all my blemishes. I have got quite a lot of hyperpigmentation and blemishes to cover, so I can still see a little bit of it there poking through my skin there. I can still see my mole here, so I'm going to put a little bit more on just to see if I can get a little bit more coverage just in those places where I think I need a little bit more coverage. So let's do a little bit more. Hopefully that's enough, we'll see. You'll notice that I didn't put any concealer on or any colour corrector because this is supposed to be full coverage, so let's see how it works. Alright, so that's that side. So I would say, yeah, that is definitely full coverage, and it feels really light, which is good because sometimes with products that are really full coverage they're really heavy feeling. So this doesn't feel heavy at all, so that's good. I'm now going to use a brush. I've just washed it, didn't dry it very well. Just 1.5 pumps I've just put there. See how quickly this product blends out very easily, and I would actually say with the brush it gives more full coverage. So again, depending on what coverage you want, if you use a sponge, you'll get definitely medium to full, more towards full, but with the brush you'll get more full coverage. Okay. Right, so whilst the foundation is drying down, let me just read you some information about the foundation and its claims. So as I said, I bought the foundation from ASOS.com. It's called the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation. At ASOS at the moment it costs £7.99, but normal price is £9.99. It's available in 10 colours. And the colours are Cameo, Caramel, Caramel Beige, Cocoa, Fawn, Light Beige, Nude Beige, Sand, Sun Beige and True Caramel. So I did buy 2 shades. I just wanted to show you because I really wanted to see the difference between the two. So this is, I told you, so this is the deepest shade available in the UK. So this is colour Cocoa, number 70, and the next shade down is this one. So you can see the big difference between the 2 shades. And this colour is True Caramel, I think they're called. It's called True Caramel. So that's the next shade down. See the difference? So this is literally the only colour available for deep skin shades, and this one I would say would be for dark tan, mixed race, as in sort of biracial people who have got sort of, you know, a bit of black in them probably, or dark Asian. So there you go. It's dark tan, biracial colouring, and this is for black Afro-Caribbean colouring. Not much in the shade choice there. So obviously I'll be looking at that when I do my final review at the end. What it says about the products, it says product details: for a flawless natural looking coverage, it's liquid texture, long lasting, transfer resistant formula, suitable for all skin types. So okay, so the foundation's been on for about 2-3 minutes now. It should have dried down. It's dried down. It's not that powdery smooth, which I expect from extreme full coverage foundations. It feels very natural. It's a very natural matte finish. So I'm actually quite happy with the finish with this foundation actually. It's quite a nice finish. Very natural. Colour is a little bit rich and a little bit red. I'll be interested to see if this foundation oxidizes. But yeah, coverage wise, it's good. So I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back to you, okay? So I have all of my makeup on. The foundation has settled down. It's looking all right. It hasn't really oxidized, and it's been on for about sort of 10 minutes or so now. So it's looking all okay. Time now, oh, it's a bit late, so my apologies. Time now is, oh god, it's 11:45. Right? Yeah, it's 11:45. So I'm going to try and wear this foundation for about 4 hours at least. Again, try and do as much as I can in the daylight. I may have to turn on the ring lights when I do my final check-in later on. I'll tell you what I'll do, which I don't normally. I want to give a true comparison of what my face looks like now in the natural daylight, and I'm going to put the ring light on now as well so you can see what it looks like with the ring light. So let's have a quick look. So, oops, wait a minute. Right, so there you go. So this is how it looks with the ring light on. And I'm doing this mainly because probably by the time I come back later on, I'll have to put the ring light on. So you've got a true comparison here of how the makeup looks at the moment. Okay, so the foundation does look good. I'm quite pleased with how it looks. What do you think? All right, so I'll see you in a few hours and I'll give you my final thoughts and review about how I felt this Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation full coverage version has managed on my very oily skin. All right, take care, see you soon, bye. Good evening and welcome back. So I'm here to give you my final thoughts and review of the foundation I was testing today, and the foundation I was testing today was the new formula of the Maybelline Superstay, which is this bottle here, and I was testing it in shade 70 Cocoa. That's what it's called in the UK. So I put the foundation on it was about 11:45, I think it was, about this afternoon, and time now is, oh okay, the time now is 5:45. So I've been wearing the foundation for, right, here we go, 6 hours. 6 hours? Quarter to 6? Yeah, it's about 6 hours, isn't it? Or was it 7 hours? You know I can't work these things out. Which is fine, because I've done the minimum of 4 hours, which I like to do to test out foundations to see when the oil starts to break through. So for those of you who don't know, just a quick reminder, I have got extremely oily skin, so I like to test foundations out, particularly ones that say they are long wearing or they've got a matte finish, or they say they are full coverage. I like to test those foundations out to see if they can control my oils for at least 4 hours. If they can't do 4 hours without oil breaking through, then I'm not interested in that foundation at all. So this foundation, it cost me $7.99 and I bought it from asos.com. When I do a review of foundations, I use my own little system called TOPS. And TOPS stands for, T stands for transfer, the O stands for oil control, the first P stands for performance, so whether the foundation splits, fades or separates. The second P stands for price, and the S stands for the shade selection, so the shades available to us. So let's go through this. So what I tend to do the transfer and the oil together using my faithful blotting sheets. So let me get those blotting sheets here. These are they. And what tends to happen is with the better performing foundations, they'll use, I'd say 2 to 3, sort of 2.5 sheets of the blotting sheet. So they'll have the oil on the, and it might have a little bit of transfer, but not much. The worst performing foundations, they tend to use 4 to 5 blotting sheets, and they tend to show quite a bit of transfer of the foundation on the blotting sheets. So let's see how we get on with this, shall we? So sheet number 1. Oh wow, I have run out of blotting sheets. So let me do this one, the sheet 1. I was wondering when that blotting thing was going to run out. I've been using it for the best part of this for the last, what, 4 or 5 months? So it's lost really well. So I'll go and get the other packet I have. Okay, so here we go. That's sheet 1. And you can see there's quite a bit of oil and a little bit of transfer. Not too much actually. Not too much foundation, but still quite a bit of oil. So that's sheet 1. Let me go and get the other packet of blotting sheets. Okay, so I've got another packet here. Right, these sheets aren't as big as my normal ones, but they'll do. Right, so I've used 1 sheet. Let's use sheet 2. That's sheet 2, and you can see completely soaked in oil again. So with these sheets, it's a bit different. These sheets are about 1/3 smaller than my other sheets, which I normally use. If I compare, you can see they're about 1/3 smaller. Right, so we're going on to this 3rd sheet here. Okay. Okay, so in total I used 3 of these. I used 4 of these sheets, which I would call the equivalent of 2 of my other sheets. So I'm going to say I used 3 equivalent of these sheets, which is about what I would expect for a decentish oil controlling foundation. So I think for transfer, there was transfer on all of the sheets of foundation, but not that much. I'll admit there wasn't that much foundation transfer on all of the sheets. The most was particularly on the first one, which was on my forehead, but these sheets, there wasn't that much. So I am going to say, actually, for transfer, I'm going to give this foundation a 9 out of 10. It wasn't that bad on the transfer at all. Considering that I have got oily skin and oil has been produced through, that's not bad at all. For oil control, I'd say it used equivalent of 3 of my usual sheets. I'm going to have to change how I do my comparisons now. But equivalent of 3. Oil, there was oil production, so I would say for oil control, didn't really control it that well, but better than a lot of foundations I've got. So I think for oil control, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, because, you know, it did control, but it wasn't brilliant. It did last, I would say 3 hours, the oil started to come through. 4 hours, at the 4-hour mark, there was definite oil showing on my face. It didn't really change much from the 4 hours to the point where I've come back on camera now, so 6 hours. For performance, has this foundation faded, split or separate on my face? So let's have a look. Alright, so there's a little bit of fading under my eyes here. Let me bring you in a bit closer so you can see. Right, a little bit of fading under my eyes here. I did a little bit of crying. I was watching a movie and there was a little bit of crying at the end, because I always like to cry at happy endings or sad endings or any emotional ending at all. So my mascara ran a little bit under there. So there's some fading. There is definite fading under here. And the concealer I was wearing the Fenty Suede Matchstick under here as my under eye highlight. So that's all completely gone. Little bit of fading, so you can see my skin coming through there. So it's fading there. Little bit of fading again. Got sort of bit of my lace showing through there. All right. Fading on my forehead again. Usual areas really, a little bit of fading again. This is where I've got a pimple from all the chocolate I've been eating, so there's a pimple there. You can see my mole very clearly on my nose there, so that's completely faded. So I think for performance, I mean, it looks good, it still looks okay. You can still see I've got makeup on and my skin doesn't look as bad as it could look, but it does look oily and it has faded. So I am going to say for performance, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 again. So we've got transfer, we've got 9, we've got oil control, we've got 6, we've got performance, we've got 6. For the second P, which was price, the price was $7.99, so it's reduced on ASOS.com at the moment. It seems like the regular retail price for it's going to be $9.99, but I paid $7.99, which is not bad for a drugstore foundation. So I mean, $7.99 is extremely affordable. So I'm going to give that a 9.5 out of 10, really, because it's very good. It's not as cheap as, say, the Primark foundation, which performed very well as well. So I'm going to just give this a 9.5 out of 10 because it's a really affordable foundation. And finally, for shades available. Now I think, I'm not sure how many shades are available in the whole Maybelline range in the Superstay 24-hour foundation. In America, they have definitely got more shades than we have over here. I think there's 10 to 16 shades available in America. And I think there are 4 shades available for deeper skin tones in America. Here in the UK, as I showed you earlier, this is the only deep skin tone they have, 1 shade, just the one. And the next shade down is this one. So this is Cocoa 70 Mocha, and this is True Caramel. I don't know what the number is for this one. It looks like 56 or 58 for True Caramel. So that's the 2 shades. So you've got this one and the next shade down is that. So we've only literally, if you've got deep skin tones, this is the only shade available. According to the ASOS website, there are 10 shades available. So 9 shades are for light skin tones, 1 shade for deep skin tones. And you know I'm not going to think too much of that. So for shades available and the shade range available, for out of 10, I'm only going to give this a 1 because I think that's pretty abysmal to only have this 1 shade available. Okay, so 1 out of 10 for that. So I don't know what the total score is. I'll add it all up and I'll put the score along here. I think it's a foundation that is good for oily skin. So if you have got oily skin, it's going to be fine. Just remember to blot as soon as your oils come through. It's very light feeling, it's very comfortable to wear, it doesn't feel heavy at all. So I think if you've got dry, if you've got actually I'm not sure about dry skin people may not be so happy about it, but I suppose if you put on a hydrating primer or a good moisturizer underneath, you might be okay. Normal combination skin types, you'll be fine with this foundation, absolutely fine with it. So I think just think about your preparation before you put the foundation on, depending on what your skin type is like. For us oily skinned people, if we're going to wear this, we need to make sure we do a good primer, a mattifying primer, oil-free primer, and maybe if you want to do the extra hack, you're going to put another layer of powder on, sort of setting powder or loose powder of some sort, just to provide an extra oil barrier. That'd be a good idea. So yeah, overall it's a good foundation. £7.99, it's affordable, it's available on the high street. Not great shade selection, I'm afraid. That's the only disappointing thing about it. The shade selection is very, very poor, but overall it's an okay foundation. I may even end up giving it away probably to my sister or something. I can't see me wearing this foundation every day, but that's just me, my personal opinion. What do you think? Superstay 24-hour foundation. This foundation would never last 24 hours on my skin, never. It's just about lasted 6 hours. So what do you think? Right, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to give me a like if you enjoyed my video and if you like the information I've given you. Don't forget, I have got a 500 subscriber giveaway, so the details will be down below in the description box. So please let me know what you got for Christmas and if you liked what you got for Christmas as well. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and if you press the little bell next to the subscribe button, that will notify you when I do my next upload. And my next video will be, let's get it, will be this one, Siesta Lauder Double Wear in nude, the nude formula. So, all right, so take care and I will see you soon. Bye.